Hi, I'm State Representative Jay Barrows. I'm from Mansfield. I represent the towns of Foxborough, Norton, and Mansfield. And I'm here today to speak about the wastewater treatment plant opportunities that we have before the three communities. The existing facility is located in Norton and it is owned by Mansfield. It was built in 1985 and it was built for the purpose of serving Mansfield. The towns then entered into what was called an Inter-municipal Agreement. The town of Foxborough was allotted X number of gallons of wastewater flow a day, which they pay for, operating charge, as well as the portion of the plant that they use. And the same was with Norton.
And what we have is, coming down the railroad tracks, the old railroad bed from Foxborough, there's what we call an interceptor. It's 8 miles of a pipe that gradually increases in size, and the three communities contribute their sewage flow to this pipe. We take flow from Foxborough, Norton, and the bulk of it from Mansfield.
Mansfield currently has capacity of 2 million gallons a day, Foxborough 650,000 gallons a day, and Norton 500,000. And so what we did back in 2007 was we brought the three towns together. Perhaps the town of Foxborough would tie in with Patriots Place and move the infrastructure to push wastewater up the hill, if you will, up onto Route 1. We had other proposals that were required by the state actually to, we could treat the water coming from a community, but we had to bring the clean water back to that community. We were able to work with the state of Massachusetts and the water commissioners to actually get a waiver from the Interbasin Transfer Act, which then allowed us to combine all three communities, treat any new wastewater that we add as we build capacity, and discharge it back into the ground to recharge. No more surface water discharge. So our three communities have been meeting regularly for the last 6 years to try to figure out a way to have Mansfield A, divest its ownership of the treatment plant, and B, establish a wastewater district, again including all three towns, run by a district board, 2 representatives from Foxborough, 2 representatives from Norton, 3 representatives from Mansfield, and create a wastewater district. And that district would own and operate the plant and bill each of the three communities for whatever their usage has been. We had special legislation passed back in 2010, signed by the governor, that created that district. So what we've been working on the last 2 years has been an operating guide, if you will, leaving clear direction, clear instruction to this, which will be created, a wastewater management board, a board of directors, to represent again the three towns in our wastewater needs. So we're close to having that completed. I would expect that that'll be done before the end of 2012. The expanded capacity, what we're proposing is that Mansfield would increase capacity by 650,000 gallons a day. Basically for the town of Mansfield, it's really to capture areas that are already within our sewer infrastructure. Mansfield's looking to infill. We've got employers like Covidian with 1,800 people. We've got Smith & Nephew. On the other side of the street, Foxborough and the Foxborough Commerce Park. Meditech is moving into the old commercial union building with 500 or so employees. We've seen additional development. The lodge has been built back there. We've got areas of downtown that have no sewer capacity at all. Foxborough, under the Inter-municipal Agreement back 20 years ago, was only given so many gallons a day, and that was to meet the critical needs areas that existed, and they've been fulfilled with that, but Foxborough doesn't have any other capacity to grow. So as we see the downtown, millions of dollars were spent to rehab the common and rehab the streets and the library, and the fire station is now empty as a result of the new safety building. There are a couple of empty lots along the Central Street area as well as 140. So it's an opportunity for us to infill with additional capacity. Right now the sewer treatment plant can process 3.14 million gallons a day. And it's running at approximately 80% of that capacity. When you get to 80%, the DEP, EPA require a plan, a comprehensive wastewater management plan, that addresses future needs for the next 20 to 25 years. We hope that through our approach of regionalization that we'll be able to attract some state investment and some federal investment as well. And this is really tied to our local economy. It's opportunities, it's about job creation, it's about being able to have the infrastructure that matches the needs of small, medium, large companies that might be attracted to our area. We're very great location, great schools, great recreational activities. In my mind, we're #1 in the state. But if we're limited by our infrastructure, then we're not going to be able to grow our commercial base. And I believe all 3 towns are interested in doing that to help the residential taxpayer in their efforts to keep up with the ever burdensome property tax issue. Right now, we discharge our clean product into the Taunton River. It ends up into the Taunton River, Mount Hope Bay, and Narragansett Bay. That will no longer be allowed. And what will happen is it will be literally discharged into recharge retention ponds that'll be located in Norton. We have 2 parcels of land, which we've finalized and have purchased one, and we're finalizing the other, that will put the water back into the aquifer.
Yeah, the new infiltration basins will be through these woods-aways, and it's strictly for effluent disposal. There's no structures or anything being built there. All structures will be built on this property.
It's a very, very clean product, and one that, as we've all learned, if we can continue to recharge the aquifer, which again the 3 towns uniquely share, the Canoe River aquifer, we're going to do better as a result of that. So the additional flow that we're talking about, the additional expansion, when we get fully phased in, there'll be 1 million gallons of water a day going back into the ground, which is pretty cool. Hopefully construction will begin in 2014, and that the fully phased treatment plant will be up and running by 2017. So it's a lot to do. It's been a tremendous amount of effort. Really proud of the folks from Foxborough and from Mansfield and Norton that have met diligently. We'll be working with our boards of selectmen, with our planning boards, with our finance commissions, committees, the advisory committee here in Foxborough, to help us achieve the goal. I know there are some people that are absolutely opposed. They run septic, they don't need sewer. But one of the things that I think is, to some extent, frightens some is that septic systems, as we move, we're a Title V state now. What happens when we're Title VI or Title VII? And again, with the regulations, it's probably better served that we all work together to reduce the cost as opposed to trying to go it alone. I think we can all remain diligent to make sure that we get the best bang for the buck.
Where we are now, this is called aerated grit. And what happens is all the heavy inorganics, sand, eggshells, all that kind of stuff, as the air is being pumped into this air header, there's a flow that's created and flows into a pump downstairs, and it's pumped upstairs here to the headworks. All the flow comes in gravity to the wet well, and we have raw wastewater pumps that pick it up to the headworks, and everything else is gravity all the way to the river. Each pump is capable of pumping approximately 3 million gallons per day. So in theory, we have a capacity of 12 million gallons that we can pump into the system. So from here, it flows over to the primary. The water is distributed 50-50. More of the heavy inorganics settle out, and then from there it goes over to the aeration basin, and that starts the biological activity. We pump a lot of air in it, and that's where the bugs, if you will, start eating the food. We create a sludge, a living sludge that's used that, again, eats the organics. They flow to the secondary clarifier, settle out. The clarified water comes out of the secondaries, flows down the driveway over to the filter building. It's filtered in the filter building, it's chlorinated, goes to the chlorine contact area, it's dechlorinated, and it flows out to the river. That's the basic flow in a nutshell.
This is truly an opportunity for our 3 communities to come together. There's so many things that we share now. Whether it's our STEM initiative for our school children, with Mansfield, Norton, and Foxborough, whether it's our Tri-Town Drug and Alcohol Task Force, where the three communities are working together, whether it's mutual aid with our fire departments and police departments. The water and sewer commissions in each of the three towns have worked very, very hard to come up with a regional solution for our wastewater. We certainly have the need, we can demonstrate the need, that we don't have any additional capacity to attract new businesses or to keep those that are growing. It's clearly more cost effective for our three towns to work together to achieve this solution than trying to go it alone. So I look forward to continuing to work with all three towns as a state representative. We can all be proud of the efforts that all the people have put in, whether that's our planning boards, our boards of selectmen, our individual members on the Inter-municipal Study Commission, and the state legislature for recognizing that this is, I guess, maybe not groundbreaking, but we are certainly leading edge in bringing three communities together to address this critical need for the future. And this isn't about today, but it's about the next 20 to 25 years. What are our communities going to look like? What are our downtowns going to be like? What can we do if we don't have sewer capacity? And quite frankly, there isn't much we can do. The town of Foxborough has invested a lot of money in a new master plan. We've invested a lot of money in the infrastructure in the community, and it's clear that we need additional wastewater capacity. So I think this gives us the best bang for our buck. I think it puts all three communities on track to recognize whether there's a new employer that lands in Norton or one in Mansfield or one in Foxborough, it's good for the region. It's good for all of us as taxpayers. And ultimately it'll make our communities a better place to live. And that's what it's all about.